Maggie. You get ready that morning like someone preparing for war. Your war paint is makeup. A neutral, smoky eye, a heavy lash, dark rose blush, and a nude lip. Your hair is loosely curled and huge. You learned how to do hair and makeup by yourself, in front of mirrors, with Linkin Park and Led Zeppelin in the background. You are one of those girls who innately understand contouring and accessorizing, who plan bobby pins to good and buried use. You wear wedge boots, leggings, and a sheer kimono top. You want him to know he is not dealing with a child anymore. You are 23. Of course, you also want him to want you still, to lament what he lost. You want him to sit at the dinner table later, meditating on the smiling bone of your hip. 6 years ago, you were smaller, and he loved your little hands. Back then, his own hands fluttered inside you. A lot has changed. Your father is dead. In August, he slit his wrists in a nearby cemetery. You used to talk to him about your dad, about the problems with your parents. He knew how one would go to pick up the other from a bar. Both drunk, but one worse than the other. Now you feel he'd understand, how you were worried about rain pattering on the ground above your dad. Is he getting wet down there, and wondering why you have left him in the cold, bucketing dark? Doesn't death supersede the stuff that happens in a courtroom? Doesn't death supersede all this other bullshit, even the cops and the lawyers? Isn't it, somehow, somewhere, still just the two of you? You drive to Cass County District Court with your brother David, sharing a few cigarettes on the way. Part of your perfume is clean shower smell girdled with smoke. He hated it when you smoked, so you lied. You said it was your parents' smoke, getting trapped in your hair and in the fibers of your navy hoodies. At a Catholic retreat, you vowed to quit for him. He deserved all of you, including the parts that you did not want to give. You could have made it so that he didn't show up today. Even though he had a right, the lawyer said, to be in there. Anyway, a small part of you wanted him there. You might even say one of the reasons you went to the police was to get him to show you his face again. Because most people will agree. When a lover shuts down, refuses to meet you, doesn't want his Oral-B back, doesn't need his trail shoes, doesn't return an email, goes out to buy another pair of trail shoes, for example, because that's better than dealing with your mousetrap pain. It's as though someone is freezing your organs. It's so cold you can't breathe. For 6 years he stayed away. But he will come today. And he will come also to the trial. So, in a way, it can be said that one of the reasons you're doing this is because it means you'll see him about 6 more times. This is an outlandish notion only if you don't know how a person can destroy you by the simple act of disappearing. You're worried that you're going to want him. You wonder if his wife is worried. You picture her at home, disengaged from the children and watching the clock. You park the car and smoke some more before going in. It's about 3 degrees outside, but it's nice to smoke in the cold. Fargo sometimes feels like new beginnings. The silver trucks whooshing by on the highway. Trucks have defined destination points, coordinates that must hold up. Only trains you find to be more beautiful, freer. You inhale, and ice fills your lungs. You get to the room first, thank God. You and David and the prosecutor John and the co-prosecutor Paul. You think of all these men by their first names and address them that way. They think you are overstepping your boundaries. They aren't actually representing you, they are representing the state of North Dakota. It's not as if the prosecutors have your back. They have your shadow, is more like it. A court reporter walks in. Then, he walks in.